Jimmy Butler wants to leave because Jimmy Butler knows that Riles isn't going to pay him and he wants to get paid. Simply put, if they would have given Jimmy Butler this contract extension in the summer when he asked, this wouldn't be happening. But Riles did it, and Riles wanted him to play. So now he's disgruntled because he wants out.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Talk about it failing and always putting the square peg into the round hole. We're going to run it. We're going to try and play these lower scoring games. They didn't score over 17 points in the 5 straight losses.
There's a chance for the Ravens to exercise every single demon on their way to a Super Bowl. But it also means the path is very difficult and things are only getting started.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome in. It's InGame Live Game Day here on a wonderful Wild Wednesday. Yours truly, Scott Wetzel, along with Dave Sharapan for the next 2 glorious hours, right up until 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We got a decent slate of NBA games. We got some strange lines to get to. We got full slate of college basketball, Dave. Only 2 NHL games. One started at 6:30 Eastern Time, which is kind of weird. 6 o'clock even Eastern Time, which is kind of weird. Carolina and Buffalo, but a little doubleheader in the NHL. So we'll continue to look at the lines. Little movement in the NFL as more and more people apparently betting Kansas City, as that line now, Dave, is up to 9. Wow. For a team that is yet to cover a spread over 7 this season, Kansas City, I do find it amazing. Do you not? That line has jumped from 7, 7.5 to up to 9 now?
It's crazy. First of all, good to see you. Second of all, not surprised people are betting Kansas City, but this is where legalization has changed the way you look at this thing because, I mean, you'll see it right there on the graphic. It's 8.5. Out here in the desert, it's 8. So you're starting to see back east, it's a little bit 9, maybe in the middle of the country, you see 8.5, 9. But out here, yeah, it's one of those things that Kansas City hasn't covered. So laying 9, not really of any interest, at least out here. But the teaser number has to be that because Kansas City is the first game, and it's going to be teased in every single teaser. This is the last day of the season or the last weekend where you have 4 games. So you go Kansas City to Detroit to Philadelphia, and then who knows what you do with the last game. But there's a lot of stuff to talk about. There's a lot of stuff going on the court. There's a couple games coming up right now. Did you see this Bulls line? The Bulls are what is this?
Yeah, I tell you, what has happened to the Atlanta Hawks that all of a sudden, they were getting 2.5, 3.5, whatever it was last night. They win outright. Didn't like them. We were all over them, right? And now tonight, maybe that's it because they played back-to-back games and they got to go on the road after being home last night from Atlanta to Chicago. So, but 6.5, feisty little Bulls team. I will say, they're hovering around that 500 mark, but I'm not comfortable laying 6.5 with them. That's for sure.
No, pregame. It's funny. I think that The back-to-backs are really interesting, and I know that was one of my just blind spots. A lot of times I just couldn't get it right, either overvalued it, put too much into the number, or undervalued it and didn't put enough into the number. They got this new thing now where they play not only back-to-back, but they stay in the same city, maybe with a day off in between.
Right.
We got a couple of those coming up. I don't know what to make of the Hawks, but I saw that number and I went, oh, man. Either somebody's not playing, which unfortunately, the first thing you think when you see a number that looks out of whack, you go, oh, somebody's not playing. Or two, maybe you're just missing something. So that's where I'm at with that one.
Yeah. How about, I don't get this one. I was just telling Ranieri. Orlando's playing at Milwaukee, right? Bucks are laying 6.5 at home against Orlando, which Orlando a month ago, I get it. Orlando now, they're all beaten up. They lost six of their last 10. They got all their best players are all injured. Milwaukee, meanwhile, the Greek Freak, who's really not Greek, he is playing. So is Chris Middleton, who's been in and out of the lineup with injuries. So you got the A team for Milwaukee. Milwaukee 11-1 their last 12 games at home against Orlando. 20-2, Dave. 20-2 their last 22 games against the Magic overall. And yet they're only a 6.5 point home favorite. They tip off here in 2, 3, 4 minutes. I mean, what am I missing?
The Orlando Magic are a pretty good basketball team. And last night, the Black Cloud play of the night came through, and that was a 22-1 trend, I believe,
Yep.
right? That's what it was. Yep. The total in the Milwaukee game went over. So it held true to the trend yesterday. That's a pretty big trend. But don't forget, Orlando is a completely different team. I saw the number and I thought, okay, as much as I like Milwaukee yesterday, and you like the over, they both got there. I thought I like Orlando today, plus the points. When you start to hover over, I like over 6 points with teams that are closer than people think. I think this could be one of those ones where I'm not saying Orlando's going to win, but I think they're live to win. So if they can stay within 3 buckets, you take the pregame number. Now, will there be an opportunity while we're doing the show in game to take a higher number? Yes, there probably will. So you don't feel forced to make a play. I haven't got any injury reports on this game, but I just got it, from our guy, Matty G. Jalen Johnson, Trae Young, Zachary Risher, first overall pick, and DeAndre Hunter are all out for the Hawks. I mean, that's half the team. So that's why the Hawks.
Trae Young's in. Less of them is more Trae Young. That's all.
No, it's
Trae Young playing. That's
Trae Young's out.
Oh, Trae Young is out. Oh, is he in that list?
He's the third guy on the list. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
That explains that one.
Right.
Then. That explains that one.
Yeah.
And that, again, same thing with Milwaukee, Orlando. Milwaukee played last night. Orlando didn't. So I wonder how much, as you were talking about there, that plays.
Is there a trend for that? Do you have a betting system for that? When a team doesn't play and they're already in the city, when a team that does play played the night before? I mean, in hockey, I'd love to get the team that was home, resting, right?
Right. I don't have it for the NBA, but I would be curious to know teams that played the night before versus teams that were off. What's their record? I know I have something like that. Let me go to one of the sites I like to use.
I'm sure there's
something
goofy that's watching. Tweet at us at SportsBK and Sig or Opposite Picks. Let us know if you're watching the show, if you have that information handy. I don't know, but I know, again, sometimes you just look at a number and you go, okay, I like that. That's where I'm at with the Orlando game. Now there's another one.
Actually, I got it. You know what? One of the sites I use with rest disadvantage, they call it.
Okay.
Right. So let's go to the Milwaukee Bucks. Win-loss record for Milwaukee 4-5. How about against the spread, Scott? Milwaukee against the spread. I got to go back to with rest disadvantage. 4-5 straight up, and 2-7 against the spread. There's your 6. There's your 6.5. Always a reason. Always a reason. Trae Young not playing, and Milwaukee. You know why? Because I think more times than not, the Greek Freak is really not Greek. Probably doesn't play, but he's supposed to play.
Exactly. That's the other thing.
You know?
Sometimes those records you got to be careful with, a little misleading because guys are in for one game, guys are not in for another game. It's a real thing. We talked about it last night. We'll talk about it the rest of the season with the NBA. Who's playing, when they're playing, very important to the handicap.
Yeah. All right, we had a 22-1 trend last night that came through easily. How about a 14-1 college basketball trend this season? You willing to bet that blindly?
Yeah, put that on. Let's go.
Bad.
What do you got?
All right.
What do you got?
Kansas Jayhawks are the number one under team in college basketball this year. 14-1 under. How about that?
Yes, sir.
Best game of the night, or at least one of the better games. Iowa State. They're taking on Iowa State. They're underway. It was trending towards the over. No, not really. We got 40-30 at halftime. Just started the second half. Over-under is 147.5. We're not halfway there. You want to bet it? Getting 147.5. Getting yourself an extra couple points.
147.5 under. Yes. Right now, coming out of halftime, yes. I like it.
14-1.
I thought Kansas might keep this close, too, for the game, but we'll see.
Yeah, so far down 10. All right, in-game live game day continues.
Talk about it failing and always putting the square peg into the round hole. We're going to run it. We're going to try and play these lower scoring games. They didn't score over 17 points in the 5 straight losses.
There's a chance for the Ravens to exercise every single demon on their way to a Super Bowl. But it also means the path is very difficult and things are only getting started.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
It's going to be copy-paste. Books are, not good. Win total's a tick too low. Knock it right over. Makes playoff price tick too juicy. Bang it out. Postseason comes around on a tee. Knock their heads off.
I don't think the Steelers organization just makes a move to make a move. They have to have, it's like being in the book. You have to know what you're going to move the line to.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Jimmy Butler wants to leave because Jimmy Butler knows that Riles isn't going to pay him, and he wants to get paid. Simply put, if they would have given Jimmy Butler this contract extension in the summer when he asked, this wouldn't be happening. But Riles did it, and Riles wanted him to play. So now he's disgruntled because he wants out.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Statement from Giants president John Mara. Joe Shane and Brian Daboll will continue in their respective roles with the organization. As disappointing as the results of the season have been, Steve Tisch and I remain confident in the process that Joe and Brian have implemented.
The Giants, an absolute train wreck, and I love it.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back in-game live. Game day here on the grid. Scott and Dave, hour number 1, just getting underway. Look at a little college basketball. Yeah, I was talking to Ranieri, Dave, and I couldn't come up with the game, but Kansas, 70 points. The over-under to start the game, 143.5 or so. It's at 147.5, and I was mentioning that there was a game recently. I thought it was the last game, but it was actually 2 games ago, where Kansas gave up a ton of points first half, and it looked like the game was going to sail over. I was all disgusted, whatever. 78 points between them and Arizona State, and the over-under was right around, same one, right around 143 or so. They held Arizona State after giving up 42 points in the first half. They held Arizona State to 13 13 in the second half, and the game goes way under, not even close, only 129 points, 74 to 55. They only had, 51 points in the second half. So no matter what number you have right now, know that could happen. And I will tell you, they've played 4 minutes so far, and Kansas has given up 2 points in the second half. So, and it's already from that commercial break, if you're into playing middles, which I don't, it's down to 139.5 from the 147.5 we said take it at.
It's pretty impressive. I'm thinking 13 points in the second half of a college basketball game. You see more points than that in some of the games you referee with them little kids.
I do.
mean, that's unbelievable.
By the way, I got a referee tomorrow night. No fouls. We're swallowing the whistle tomorrow night. I got a 5 o'clock game. Game's about an hour from my house, for the studios, we'll say. So I got to make sure that game gets over in an hour and 15 minutes. That gets me about an hour to get home, blank shower and shave, and be on the air by 8 o'clock. So we're swallowing the whistle tomorrow. Unless there's a brawl.
Will you a heads up on that? Will you kind of give them a look, coach, we're going to let them play tonight. Like we're just going to let them go. Like it's going to be one of those. No,
I'm hoping it's a blowout, but no, I wouldn't tell that to the coach because then automatically he already knows that I figure I got at least a quarter and a half to have bad calls or no calls, and then he'll realize after a quarter and a half, all right, it just is what it is. These guys stink, I'll take one for the team. Yeah. So,
okay.
One of those things where you kind of, you do too many things in one day. That's kind of how it is tomorrow. And naturally, this is about as long of a trip for me to referee a game as I'll have all year. And naturally, it's got to come, on a Thursday. So.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah.
It's going to be close. Somebody's down for Kansas. They just went to commercial break, but it's 42-37 at the break. I don't know who it was, but it looked like he was hurt. I want to shout out a friend of the show, Dougie Windy City, Doug Damsky. He's tweeting at us and letting us know about these lineups. I mean, I don't even know where he got this information, but half of Orlando's lineup might not play, which is it says Bataze, Harris, Howard, Suggs, and Wagner are all out, listed as out, may not play.
Suggs and Wagner are the two main guys, and they've been out for a little while.
Right.
So
okay.
That's why they're not the same team they were a few weeks back when they were actually, playing really good ball. So why? Right. So again, is it that? I guess it's just Milwaukee back to back, and Orlando not.
Well, I mean, there's two different back to backs. I heard Kaufman earlier with Ranieri talking about tonight's game with Denver. And Denver against Houston.
Another dopey line. Right.
It is, but at the same time, I mean, when you see that, what was your first thought? What you called it a dopey line? What in Wetzel language, what did you think when you saw that number?
Joker wasn't playing.
Immediately thought that, right?
Right.
I thought the same thing. I said, listen, Houston's having a great season. They really are. Right. But, whoa. We get a number here that has, Denver such a short favorite. Well, I can just tell you this. It just flipped here in the desert.
Right.
It's -3 on Houston.
Whoa.
So I guess we were right. I don't know. I haven't got confirmation. We'll get Matty G on the horn or Robert or somebody in the background. But if that number is right, on my odds screen right here, there's 2 places out in Vegas just moved. The Circus at 3, Westgate's at 2, the Superbook. On Houston as the favorite. So somebody's betting that information. Yeah, I don't know.
Murray's supposed to play. Aaron Gordon is the only one.
Yeah.
4.
Okay.
I'm not betting Houston because Aaron Gordon's not playing. So.
Well, nobody's moving that line unless it's Joker. So as of right now, again, the game don't tip for about 40 minutes, just after 6 o'clock hour West, 9 o'clock East. We'll keep an eye on it and see if we can get confirmation. But nothing knows a number
4.5.
like that.
4.5. Well, FanDuel always adds a half a point. Yeah, Houston.
Right. They don't. Yeah. They don't keep it whole numbers.
That's you know what?
Yeah, he's not playing.
I would hold off. I would hold off on that. But I will tell you, even if the Joker doesn't play, right? That's more likely what they're going to announce. He's not playing. I'll still let the guy go up to 7, and you watch Denver cover. I know that didn't happen the other night. There was a team that we were talking about ended up losing by like 10 when they were getting 9.5. May have been was it Denver?
Pacers.
Or somebody.
Pacers.
No, I think it was Denver against Boston.
Oh, okay.
I think it was that game.
Yeah, that might have been last year. I think it was last year.
No, like about 2 weeks ago. Last year.
Denver played Boston. I think it was last year, something like that. No, we talk about so many games and so many line moves, but you're right. A lot of times there's an overreaction in the market to a guy not playing. I mean, the Joker's the best player in basketball. Obviously, he's worth 5 points. I mean, that thing just flipped 5 points in 2 minutes. It was right when we started the show. It was Denver -2, and I thought something's up with this. Right, immediately. But we were both thinking the same thing when we saw it this morning.
Yeah.
Well, there's your answer.
Yeah. So I bet by the time we get to the top of the hour, we're going to hear that he's not playing. It's got to be him or Jamal Murray. But I don't even think Jamal Murray would both. That much. Maybe both. Yeah. I bet that's it. All right, in-game live. Game day.
Talk about it failing and always putting the square peg into the round hole. We're going to run it. We're going to try and play these lower scoring games. They didn't score over 17 points in the 5 straight losses.
There's a chance for the Ravens to exercise every single demon on their way to a Super Bowl. But it also means the path is very difficult and things are only getting started.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
It's going to be copy-paste. Books up, not good. Win total's a tick too low. Knock it right over. Makes playoff price tick too juicy. Bang it out. Postseason comes around on a tee. Knock their heads off.
I don't think the Steelers organization just makes a move to make a move. They have to have, it's like being in the book. You have to know what you're going to move the line to.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Jimmy Butler wants to leave because Jimmy Butler knows that Riles isn't going to pay him, and he wants to get paid. Simply put, if they would have given Jimmy Butler this contract extension in the summer when he asked, this wouldn't be happening. But Riles did it, and Riles wanted him to play. So now he's disgruntled because he wants out.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Statement from Giants president John Mara. Joe Shane and Brian Daboll will continue in their respective roles with the organization. As disappointing as the results of the season have been, Steve Tisch and I remain confident in the process that Joe and Brian have implemented.
The Giants, an absolute train wreck, and I love it.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back in-game live. Game day here on the grid. Scott and Dave for another hour and a half or so. 24 past hour number 1. Little SGP same game parlay time. All right, we're going to go to the NBA. I'm going to give you some numbers here that are really mind-boggling. They really are. So, and I was originally going to go the other way with this game until I saw the numbers and said, nope, can't do that. So, how about Golden State at Minnesota? The Teacups hosting the Warriors. I'm going to grab Golden State. The line was 6 when I put this in. I know it's up to 7, but that's okay. If you get it at 7, better for you. Give me Golden State plus the 6, 7. on the road against Minnesota. Why? How about this, Dave? Minnesota is 2-11 against the spread their last 13 home games, and 4-17 against the spread their last 21 home games. I mean, they just don't cover. You talk about overvalue. That is the case for Minnesota at home. So give me Golden State. Steph Curry opened his mouth the other day talking about how the team shouldn't make any major trades. They are who they are. So I'm thinking, all right, if you're going to open up your mouth, then your next game, you're going to come out and have to come out flying. So give me Steph Curry, 25 points or more. I'm going to get him 4.5 rebounds just because I'm expecting an A game out of Steph since, again, he opened his mouth, which is fine. No problem with that. Give me over 4.5 rebounds. That's a plus odds, by the way. Give me Anthony Edwards, 20 points. This is just to boost it up. No worry bets, as I like to call them. Minus 390. And then Dante DiVincenzo, 2 threes at minus 590. He'll get that in the first quarter. So add it all up. Not going to pay a lot, but, 6.5, almost 6.5 to 1, plus 633. What do you think?
That's not bad. Are either one of those two big favorites in jeopardy of losing other than an injury?
What do you mean? As far as
the two big,
Edwards and
like DiVincenzo and Edwards? Yeah.
No,
okay.
I mean, Edwards is going to get 30, and the two DiVincenzo, gets like 4 or 5.
Okay.
So,
all right.
That's just the.
So you went with the rebounds for Steph Curry?
I was getting odds. Plus, like plus 110. Yeah, plus 106.
Okay. All right.
I think he's going to be all over the court tonight. When a guy says don't make trades, this is who we are. Especially a veteran, good player, he kind of takes it upon himself to kind of carry the team next time out. So I'd be surprised if he didn't hit his numbers tonight. I'd even play them separately, to tell you the truth.
Okay. Do you think he's going to hit the made threes number? Because we got the producer's pick, and he's, they went all in here with the over 4.5 made threes for Steph tonight. So,
ooh, interesting.
You like that?
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's not bad. I considered putting it in, but they didn't give me, once you go over 25 points, then they don't give you anything for the over 4.5 threes. It's pick one. It's basically the same bet.
Okay, because it's correlated, so they block it out. Okay.
Yeah. I made bets, by the way. I meant to bring this up to you. I've actually not made the bet, but put it in where the number goes lower. Swear to God. So let's use this one, right? I could then put in Steph Curry over 4.5 threes, and instead of it being 633, it'll go down to like 623. I'm like, what? How does that make any sense? I'm adding something, and you're lowering my payout. I've had that a couple of times. Obviously I don't put it in. Is that just another example of how these computers just are computers and they don't know what's going on?
Oh, no. If you add something that can be judged or even misconstrued as a correlation, if you add another Steph positive result prop to it, the way they have to calculate the parlays with the correlation is they take away the pay. Like it pays less. There's a function in the system that will allow you to do that. I'm not saying it's right, but I understand a lot of times from the book's perspective, there really is no defense. I mean, you want to give the customer the bet, but you can't let them put in all the things that if one thing happens, most likely that happens, most likely that happens. You suffer a little bit with the price.
But to lower it?
I'm just saying. I'm not just saying.
It's not like he can't score 26 points without getting the 5 threes. I mean, it's not impossible. I mean, so to actually lower.
Maybe your account's flagged. All this information that you give out, maybe you're flagged.
Let's put my 10-cent bets. Got my last $2.60. Yeah, I'm flagged.
Talk about it failing and always putting the square peg into the round hole. We're going to run it. We're going to try and play these lower scoring games. They didn't score over 17 points in the 5 straight losses.
There's a chance for the Ravens to exercise every single demon on their way to a Super Bowl. But it also means the path is very difficult and things are only getting started.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
It's going to be copy-paste. Books up, not good. Win total's a tick too low. Knock it right over. Makes playoff price tick too juicy. Bang it out. Postseason comes around on a tee. Knock their heads off.
I don't think the Steelers organization just makes a move to make a move. They have to have, it's like being in the book. You have to know what you're going to move the line to.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Jimmy Butler wants to leave because Jimmy Butler knows that Riles isn't going to pay him, and he wants to get paid. Simply put, if they would have given Jimmy Butler this contract extension in the summer when he asked, this wouldn't be happening. But Riles did it, and Riles wanted him to play. So now he's disgruntled because he wants out.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Statement from Giants president John Mara. Joe Shane and Brian Daboll will continue in their respective roles with the organization. As disappointing as the results of the season have been, Steve Tisch and I remain confident in the process that Joe and Brian have implemented.
The Giants, an absolute train wreck, and I love it.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. InGame Live, Game Day here on the grid. Checking out a little NBA. We got a little college basketball, a little hockey. Obviously, we'll continue to look at the NFLs. We welcome in our first guest. See him and hear him all the time here on the grid. Eric Lindquist, fantasy betting analyst for Stokastic.com. Get all his picks at oddshoppers.com, oddshopper.com, but Stokastic.com is the main site. What's going on, Eric? How are you tonight, bud?
Yeah, doing pretty well. Obviously, a ton of NBA news been rattling around. Had some crazy lineups earlier with Atlanta. Now we have Joker out here for Denver tonight. So the board's changing constantly. We're going to try to see if we can't slice off a piece of the pie tonight.
Slice off a piece of the pie. I mean, you went for like what would normally be the last piece, like Charlotte and Utah. That's the piece that's sitting on a plate with all the toppings messed up, everything else. What in the world did you find in Charlotte, Utah tonight, E?
Well, it's gotten a little bit better, I would say. We got news that Nick Richards got traded about an hour and a half ago, and it kind of worked out fortuitously for me. Mark Williams, 22.5 points plus rebounds that we're staring at for him. This just shores up the minutes in such a way where a Nick Richards can't come off the bench. They have Salon, a rookie that they definitely like, but had kind of been sent to the shadow realm in this rotation. I think he's going to have to jump back into this rotation, that or they're going to dust off Taj Gibson. Neither of those are great options right now. And I think Mark Williams playing the kind of basketball he is, nearly a 20% total rebound rate on the season, and now north of that since the year flipped over. I love him on the glass here against another true center in Walker Kessler. And offensively, I mean, I'm about 3-4 points away from this number here currently. And I think just kind of combining the two, buying in on the minutes, right around 30-31 here. He had a 31-minute upside finally last time out. And now with Richards sent over to Phoenix, I feel pretty confident that this is a pretty darn good situation. Keontae George on the under for him as well. First game back in over 10 days that we're staring at. So I like it says on the graphic over, I like the under that I'm staring at there for Keontae George in terms of points. I'm not sure what those minutes look like with Isaiah Collier hanging out there. He's somebody that's kind of mixed into this rotation more and more. You have Bryce Sensabaugh, who offensively coming off the bench, going to be somebody more than likely who eats up a lot of this usage. Definitely like shorting him in the same spot.
All right. Dave and I were talking before you came on, Eric, about the Golden State and Minnesota, and I got Golden State in my same game parlay, and I was mentioning how Minnesota, for whatever reason, well, they just don't cover at home. This season, 4-13-1 against the spread at home, 4-17 against the spread. The last 21 home games dating back to last year. So, what do you like in this contest?
Well, the pieces are starting to fit together again. The big switch, obviously, being Dante DiVincenzo starting for these Minnesota Timberwolves. As they played more and more here at home, they did have the collapse against Memphis over the weekend. But otherwise, they've had a pretty tough homestand. They played the Clippers. They've played Boston, San Antonio. Those are their recent spots here. So it doesn't completely surprise me that against the number that they're sitting in reverse there for sure. But I'm staring at the over here. This is one with Dante DiVincenzo mixing into the starting unit, looking more like his New York Knicks self. This is definitely going to be a positive going forward for our basketball team. I say this as a Minnesota fan for sure, but I'm just staring down the pace of this one. You have Draymond Green out. You have Kyle Anderson out. Defensively, you're going to bring Gui Santos, some combination of Lindy Waters III out here as well for these Golden State Warriors. These are markedly worse defenders than Draymond Green. I don't think that goes, that's pretty obvious, I would say at this point. I'm definitely looking at the pace of this one. It's starting to trend a little bit up here. 217s I'm starting to see. That's the first point that it's really hit there over the course of today. Feel pretty good to be sitting here with this number.
All right. I thought Dave was going to hop in there. All right. How about Miami and the LA Lakers? Let's take it from the standpoint of, are they ever going to trade Jimmy Butler? And then we'll get to the game itself.
Well, we'll see. I mean, Jimmy Butler is not exactly keen on hanging out in South Beach anymore. I think that's pretty apparent. But whether or not they can find a dance partner, I mean, Pat Riley is going to have to probably eat a little bit of crow here at some point in time because the market for Jimmy Butler, it's an aging superstar
what do you think they're
with a
asking
huge
for?
Contract.
What do you think they're asking, Eric? A couple first-round draft choices? I mean, are they asking like exorbitant?
How do you make the money work? You got to bring a third team into play, and there's just so many no trade clauses. From my understanding, talking to a couple of my friends who are in that business, not me, they are definitely saying Bradley Beal, no trade clause. He holds all the power. And while that would be a match made in heaven, I think just for both sides to try to get rid of it, you need to bring a third team into the fray. Bradley Beal needs to sign off on any place that he ends up. And that just adds so many layers to this. So I think overall, Pat Riley's got a huge headache on his hands for the next couple of weeks.
Is there something that you like in this game, though? Like, because I saw the number this morning. It went up. It's coming back down right now. I thought take the Heat plus the points, but you find a play in here, player prop or anything?
Yeah, if I had gone any direction in terms of total or spread there, I'm definitely taking the points there with Miami. This is a team that seems a little bit reinvigorated without Jimmy Butler out there, without the cancer in the locker room. Whether or not, that's justified or not, I'm not to say, but I do know that 23.5 is a very low number. I'm not huge on DVP. I look at overall individuals from an offensive, defensive perspective. I try to kind of evaluate them on that basis, but Max Christie, I love the defense that he's brought these Los Angeles Lakers, and yet I really see 23.5 being an appropriate number on Tyler Hero. Without Jimmy Butler on the season, right around a 26.5% usage jumps up to 27.5. We also have a Q tag sitting with Bam Adebayo, do a little bit extra where you could jump up to 29.5% usage where he sat with both of them off the floor this season. It could be all through Tyler Hero all night tonight. And regardless of the defender on the other side, Max Christie, the Lakers over the last 3 weeks have been number one in adjusted defensive rating since Max Christie's been starting in that starting unit. And yet I can't get behind this. Tyler Hero, the usage is out of control. The opportunity is out of control. Hammer the over of 23.5.
All right. Last one, Clippers and Nets. How are we attacking that one?
Yeah, this one's a little bit more nuanced because D'Angelo Russell got downgraded to questionable. I'm assuming he's going to be out. I have the under of 19.5 PRA here for Zaire Williams. He's going to more than likely be in that starting unit. I'm hoping that somehow, some way, this ticket can come to fruition because of how good the Clippers defense is on the other side of this one. It is a brutal beat sometimes that you run into in the NBA where you get late news. At least I'm not holding a Denver Nuggets ticket, so I won't complain too much.
Yeah.
But Zaire Williams filling up the box score, not exactly the most likely scenario any night of the week, let alone getting Kawhi, even for 20, 21 minutes here for this Clipper side. I also like 13.5 here, sitting at minus 105, especially when you place that before the D'Angelo Russell news, I'm not going to say D'Angelo Russell's worth a half point, full point by any means, but I am going to say that there is also a Q tag sitting on Nicholas Claxton, where this could be a very, very short front court on the Nets side. They're on the second half of a back-to-back. I think it's just a straightforward type play. The Clippers on the front end of their back-to-back, I'll take advantage of Kawhi getting pushed to the limit tonight before he rests tomorrow.
30 seconds. Are you anger rooting against the Rams the rest of the way here or against the Lions? Are you good with what do you quick NFC picture? You were there. You saw the Rams in person. They got any shot going to Philly?
Well, they definitely have a shot if they can sack the quarterback 9 times. Jalen Hurts has been sitting back there, not exactly having to throw it and dropping back so much. But I have to say, the Eagles ruined back-to-back birthdays for me. We're talking about the horrific exit that we got from them. Lots of ways where things go south. Definitely, it's hard to cheer for Philly after what they've done to us here in recent years.
Derek, good job. We'll do it again soon. Thanks, man.
So my team didn't win this weekend, but I still did with this app that's taking over the game. Sports Millions Pick'em lets you make quick and easy predictions. Pick your favorite players, go higher or lower, and you can still win big even if your team loses. Plus, the multiplier is insane. With just a few picks, you can win big money. So get on it. They've got a welcome bonus to help you start off your winning streak.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Welcome back to InGame Live. Game day here on the grid. Hour number 1. Taking a look at some of the action. I did look it up. Denver 2-3 this season without the Joker. So it's not horrible. Lines up to 5.5 now. And who knows how high it's going to go before they actually tip off, at the top of the hour. And God forbid, Dave, Denver should fall behind 6-2 or something. That thing may be at double digits before too long. So, it's just amazing how the betting world can be. But we'll see. 5.5 right now.
I think, that'll be the top.
Hawks lead by 13 over the Chicago Bulls early second quarter. Spurs and Grizz tied at 36. That's okay. What was the other one? Oh, Milwaukee. 40-19 over the Magic. That's I don't know why that line was 6.5. Whatever. It's up to 18.5 now. 18.5. Woo.
That's part of the move. That's part of what's happened now
with
the over. Expansion of gambling. The in-game number starts off the close. So a lot of times in the room or in the book, you got to get to a number. Like I'm thinking about this Denver number. This gets to 6, somebody's going to bet it. But like you said, the over adjustment that's going to happen early, if they get down 5-6 points, it'll be 10. So sometimes there's a hesitation to move a number, maybe like the Milwaukee game where it kind of sits and nobody does nothing, nobody bets nothing, and you wonder and you wonder and you wonder. And then there's other ones where it's over moving, like the Denver-Houston game.
How about the Celtics down 2 at Toronto, 55-53 at the half, laying double digits to start, down to 7.5.
I said in my head 9.5. I'd let you lay less than I wouldn't let you lay less than 9.5. So that's when you said they're down 2 at halftime. I'm like, ooh, okay, yeah. So I would say it would be 9.5, but 7.5 is fair. That Boston's going to win. They're not going to lose the game. Now they may not cover the original number, but it's almost like a free shot. The amount of money that you'll take on that Celtics. Think about that. If you get them down to 5.5, right?
That's what I'm looking at. Yeah.
Right, exactly. That's the number. So yeah. I know that. You know that. The books know that.
Yeah. And the problem is that, they may come out flying second half, right? It's not like it's, 4 minutes into the third quarter. Okay, no big deal. The natural flow game goes longer. You're taking a chance that Boston looks themselves in the mirror and says, well, what are we doing? This team stinks and we're losing, But I've seen this team lay eggs, though.
I know.
Yeah.
I call it the not interested game. The Celtics are really good, and it's a whole season of being the champ. So there's going to be games where you show up in Toronto on a weeknight and you go, let's just get the dub. Like, let's just, they're trying to win by 30 every night. And, you got to let the rotation go deeper in games like this. So I don't know. They'll win the game, but what does it fall? Probably 8 to 10 points, somewhere in that neighborhood. Yeah. If you had to say right now, I think it falls 8, 9, 10, 11, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I don't think all of a sudden they're going to turn it on and win by 30. Forget about that. So, over under at Kansas, Iowa State down to 133.5. 57-50, under 6 minutes left. They're good. This team, I don't want to jinx it because I got a decent bet on it.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Yeah, I just, you know what? Let me wait 5.5 minutes before I say what I'm going to say. Houston 40-27. Got the picks out late today. I was running around doing a whole slew of things, but under Houston is one of our normal plays, and that's looking halfway decent. 40-27 against West Virginia. Over-under is at 132.5. Although, actually, you know what? It was 124.5. It's not looking good. Never mind. Tennessee down at home against Georgia. Big game in the SEC. 22-19. 2 minutes left to go. That one I did like the under a lot. That's down to 116.5. Now, that's a super low number. Two strong under teams, though. I think that was like 133.5 if memory serves me right to start the game.
Correct. Georgia's been really good. I think 5-0 to the under the last 5 games.
10-6 overall,
As much as nobody maybe wants to hear it, the SEC is the best conference, I think, in basketball, and the SEC is a basketball conference. So for whatever that didn't get in or, didn't get in the final of the college football, the SEC is going to get a lot of teams. We talked about this in the past. Both of these teams, I don't know. Will Georgia be in the tournament? I think Georgia got a very good shot of making the tournament.
Yeah.
Yes.
They
you think they can win the game? They can win the game. I mean, it's only 6.5 in game right now.
At Tennessee, boy, you win at Tennessee. You talk about like an absolute blue chip on your resume come NCAA selection committee time. I mean, that's as good as it gets. SEC could end up with, let's figure this out here for a second. Where are we? All right. Let's use the automatics, right? Auburn's in, right? Ole Miss is in. Alabama's in. Kentucky's in. Tennessee's in. Florida is in. Texas A&M is ranked 11th, so they're in. So that's 7.
They're in.
Now you got Mississippi State, which is ranked 15th. That's 8. You got Georgia ranked 23rd. That's 9. You got you want to go Missouri, 14-3, maybe 10.
I think so.
Maybe Vandy or LSU, 14-3, 12-5.
It's 11.
There's your 11.
Yeah.
That's not even counting Texas, which brings a lot of cachet to the team. They may get literally a dozen teams.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, they got a lot of teams in their conference, so it's not like they're getting all 12 of their 12 teams. And that doesn't even count, Arkansas with Coach Cal.
Right.
If I told Coach Cal, if I said before the season 12 teams would get into the NCAA tournament, but Arkansas and John Calipari would not be one of them.
Or Texas.
That would be tough to believe.
Right? Nobody would believe you. Nobody would have believed you, including him.
That's a hell of a confidence. Yeah, it really is. Man. All right, hour number 1. We'll close up hour number 1 next. You're on the grid.
Talk about it failing and always putting the square peg into the round hole. We're going to run it. We're going to try and play these lower scoring games. They didn't score over 17 points in the 5 straight losses.
There's a chance for the Ravens to exercise every single demon on their way to a Super Bowl. But it also means the path is very difficult and things are only getting started.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
It's going to be copy-paste. Books up, not good. Win total's a tick too low. Knock it right over. Makes playoff price tick too juicy. Bang it out. Postseason comes around on a tee. Knock their heads off.
I don't think the Steelers organization just makes a move to make a move. They have to have, it's like being in the book. You have to know what you're going to move the line to.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Jimmy Butler wants to leave because Jimmy Butler knows that Riles isn't going to pay him, and he wants to get paid. Simply put, if they would have given Jimmy Butler this contract extension in the summer when he asked, this wouldn't be happening. But Riles did it, and Riles wanted him to play. So now he's disgruntled because he wants out.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Statement from Giants president John Mara. Joe Shane and Brian Daboll will continue in their respective roles with the organization. As disappointing as the results of the season have been, Steve Tisch and I remain confident in the process that Joe and Brian have implemented.
The Giants, an absolute train wreck, and I love it.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to InGame Live. Game day here on the grid. We close out hour number 1 as we normally do with a little Black Cloud Play of the Day. I tell you what, out of all the funky lines in the NBA, this is probably, to me, the craziest. That's where we're going to go. NBA for our best play on the board. This is just a classic opposite pick. It really is. The NBA in general tonight would be, unfortunately, opposite picks are tomorrow, not today. Otherwise, we could have a field day today with some of the crazy lines. But Let's go to our favorite state, the state that can't name its hockey team, but they do have a name for its basketball team, the Utah Jazz hosting the Charlotte Hornets. I mean, I know there's nothing to do in Utah, but how many people are going to this game, right? So, unless So anyway, the horse and buggy action. Let's go with the Jazz at home getting 5. What in the world? I wouldn't make Charlotte a 5-point road favorite over Topeka High, for goodness sakes. Do you realize how bad this Charlotte Bobcat Hornets, the pick 2 names team is? I'll throw you some numbers, Dave. How about 2-19 their last 21 games, including 1-15. 1-15 their last 16 road games. Maybe they owned the Utah Jazz, Scott. No, try again. They're 1-16 against the Utah Jazz. Their last 17 meetings, whether it's home, on the road, or on the moon. 1-16. Utah 11-2 overall. Utah 10-3 against the spread overall. Last 13 games. So they're actually playing like halfway decent basketball for Utah. I mean, what? And they're getting 5 at home?
Yeah. No.
I mean, how can't you bet the Utah Jazz, right?
I don't know. I saw that this morning and I went, wow, this is one of those ones, if I'm not wearing a hat, I take my hat off, I'm scratching my head and I'm going, I don't understand. What am I doing? What are we doing? This can't be. What power rating has this where Charlotte can be laying points on the road? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, Eric came up with a play or two. This would be a pass. Like, if you're looking at the board, this is the least handled game of the night. You said it. I don't know how many people are going to be in the building. I can't explain it. Other than this being the Black Cloud play of the night, this, we'll have interest on it, while we're talking about it and while you got a bet on it. But my goodness, don't be surprised to see the Jazz win the game outright, let alone cover the spread.
Right.
If Charlotte wins by 8 or more, I don't know. Something, I don't know. Again, there's words, you can describe it. You go, okay, this is why I like this. It's another GPP, general principle play. My man Mo said it back in the book years ago with us. So that's a general principle play against Charlotte plus the points. That's it. Yeah, I mean, you could take a stab at the money line, right?
Yeah, you could. It's not like Utah played last night. They've been off for a couple of days. In fact, they've been off since Sunday. I mean, you talk about well rested. The 3-3 their last 6. Like I said, 10-3 against the spread their last 10, or 7-3 against the spread. 10-3 against the spread their last 13. So 13, they're winning a couple of those games, but they're being competitive.
You said tomorrow is opposite picks. Tomorrow's Thursday. It's still Wednesday today, right? Yeah. So tomorrow's Thursday. I thought you were doing a special edition opposite picks tomorrow.
Yeah.
In addition to Friday. When you said that, I'm like, wait a second. We doing more opposite picks? I did not know about this. Okay.
That's right. It's Friday, yeah.
You don't even know what day it is.
This whole week has been just lost. I know.
You're a mess.
I'm a mess this week. We got to get through this week. Next week I'll be better. The one daughter shipped her off. She's back to college now up in BC.
Okay.
The other one's leaving on Sunday or Monday night. So that'll be. And once that's done, then it'll be all back to normal. Yeah. Had to spent the last 5 days trying to buy a car for the older daughter. We got it all finally done today. Pain in the ass. Yeah. She bought a Ford Bronco. The worst experience buying a car I've ever had. I bought one for the younger daughter last month. That was the easiest. This was by far the hardest. Just
better hit these parlays.
Yes, definitely.
talk about it failing and always putting the square peg into the round hole. We're going to run it. We're going to try and play these lower scoring games. They didn't score over 17 points in the 5 straight losses.
There's a chance for the Ravens to exercise every single demon on their way to a Super Bowl. But it also means the path is very difficult and things are only getting started.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
It's going to be copy-paste. Books are, not good. Win total's a tick too low. Knock it right over. Make playoff price tick too juicy. Bang it out. Postseason comes around on a tee. Knock their heads off.
I don't think the Steelers organization just makes a move to make a move. They have to have, it's like being in the book. You have to know what you're going to move the line to.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Jimmy Butler wants to leave because Jimmy Butler knows that Riles isn't going to pay him, and he wants to get paid. Simply put, if they would have given Jimmy Butler this contract extension in the summer when he asked, this wouldn't be happening. But Riles did it, and Riles wanted him to play. So now he's disgruntled because he wants out.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Statement from Giants president John Mara. Joe Shane and Brian Daboll will continue in their respective roles with the organization. As disappointing as the results of the season have been, Steve Tisch and I remain confident in the process that Joe and Brian have implemented.
The Giants, an absolute train wreck, and I love it.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. InGame Live Game Day, hour number 2 of our 2-hour extravaganza. Fishing out some nasty lines in the NBA, hoping a 14-1 trend in college basketball is going to hit again tonight. We're in the process, but we don't want to count our chickens, as they say, before they're hatched, or their eggs before they're hatched. I won't say it. Well, won't say it. We're on a little bit of a roll, so we need some winners, as I explained during the break. I got 5,000 cars that I'm paying insurance through the roof here. Thanks for nothing. I won't even say the insurance company. Anyway, so with that, we'll take any kind. We'll take some basketball. We'll take some golf. Our good buddy Dubs Anderson. Dubsy joined us here on the grid. What's going on, Dubsy? How are you tonight?
Boys, happy hump day, happy Wednesday, halfway through the work week, hopefully not halfway through that bankroll, but always a pleasure to see you, gentlemen. And if it's winners you're looking for, opposite picks, I've got you sorted. Plenty of different games action for tonight. And of course, the PGA Tour is back, boys. The PGA Tour is back in a big way, Sharapan. You know that gets me all kinds of jacked up. Good to see you, gents. Happy 2025.
It's great to see you as well, Dubsy. And it looks like you tightened it up top. I mean, you let this lettuce go. I mean, you put everybody to shame with the lettuce. It looks like you tightened it up. You had a good trip down to Australia. That was good. I follow you on the socials. You should follow Dubsy on the socials if you don't already. But Dubs, you heard the boy. You heard the guy here with all these cars. I mean, he's like an Indy race car team. He's got cars, backup cars, alternate cars. We need winners. College basketball. The boys sent me a list and said Dubsy's on something in the college baskets. Is this true, Dubsy? What do you got?
Boys, I live for a little college hoops, and if I can find any kind of angle or team to bag on you, Sharapan, or your home city, absolutely we are getting after it. So a little Mountain West showdown, the late game, late slate, Utah State taking on UNLV, numbers at 5.5. We can play the momentum, we can play the hot hand, or we can play against it. And a very wise man once said, winners play streaks, losers play against them. I can't recall who it was, Sharapan, but give me Utah State, lay the points, going on the road. The running Rebels, they can absolutely run for cover. They can run home. They don't stand a chance in this one. They're not turning around. We get the 6, we get the 7. It's a big blowout here. Utah State going on the road to cap off the Wednesday night.
All right. How about a little NBA? We got the Lakers hosting the Miami Heat. A little surprisingly low number for Lakers at home, laying 5.5, Dubsy.
Just check the injury report. Bronny James not playing. Shocker.
Oh.
Absolutely. What are we doing here, boys? The Miami Heat, Jimmy Buckets, Jimmy Butler, get him back to South Beach, get him out of South Beach. Bam Adebayo's looking to be a go for this one. The big fella, the Heat, they rely on him. They need him at full fitness. He's going to be out there, but he ain't going to be ready to mix it with the big monobrow Anthony Davis. I like the Lakers in this spot at 5.5. I think they're primed up for a big one out here. Second game of their homestand. You look at the Heat; they were terrible from the floor last out against the Clippers. I don't think things turn around here this evening. They're looking for a distraction. They ain't going to get it out there, crypto, this evening. The Lakers to absolutely mop the floor with them. Doing it for our city, boys. The purple and gold to stand tall. LA double coming up for Wednesday night.
And that leads us to the next game. You homer. I mean, you become an LA guy now. I mean, it's unbelievable. You can't lose the accent in the dog's breakfast and everything else and all the Dubsy sayings that I love so much and have incorporated, try to teach my kids and everyone else that I talk to these Australian sayings. But Lakers is one. Let me guess. You like the Clippers minus the big number.
Ben Simmons can only do so much for the Brooklyn Nets. He put up a 5-piece last out. I don't know what we're going to get here this evening. We know the DNA for the Clippers. They shut it down. It's a massive number, 13.5, 14.5. But I do think they could keep the Nets here under 90 points. And I think that's going to be enough for us to get LA, get the Clippers home. Cam Thomas, he's expected to not be out there on the floor this evening. So they're missing their star firepower, if you would even call that for Brooklyn. So give me the Clippers. And Dave, on that note, I was back in Oz for a week. The boys were trying to beat me up at the pub on a Friday night. Apparently, Dubsy's got a couple of American words back in his arsenal. So I've got to get that out of the game. They weren't happy with it. They thought I was trying to bung on the American accent when I was back in Sydney. I can't win.
Wow. How about that? I won't even ask you what you said.
Don't even go their opposite picks.
I won't even ask. I'll play the Sharapan role. Normally he says that about me. So little PGA American Express action first teeing off tomorrow morning. How about that?
Yeah, I don't even know we call this one a golf tournament. I mean, we got amateurs in the field. We're playing 3 different golf courses. The cut's going to be done after Saturday's round. They're out there in Palm Springs. All the boys are probably trying to get to the nest on a Friday night. It's a birdie shootout. Expect the winning mark to be 28, 29 under par. And we're still trying to figure things out. But around here on the West Coast, so a couple of players I'm looking at, and I do think the common theme this week should be going for your long shots. A couple of long shots prior to the tournament, and maybe just take a look at how it plays out going into Saturday, and certainly keep in mind what golfers are playing, what golf courses. The stadium course, which they will play twice, that looks to be the tougher of the 3. But a guy that stood out to me, and he looked fantastic last week, is Tom Hoagie. We're getting him at 60-1. He's an absolute ball striker. The wind is going to be swirling in bunches, and you look at what he does do well after that top 10 at the Sony. He's 4th in strokes gained on approach. You've got to take aim this week out there at the Amex. The driver, a little concerning, but you're really not going to get penalized too much coming in for this one. So Tom Hoagie, he's feeling it. He can flight the ball. He can shape it. I think he can get after some of these tougher pins. And, of course, it will come down to a hot putter. And with a hot putter, that leads me to a California kid who I've been waiting for a long time to step up and get it done. Bo Hosler, really streaky. It's rocks or diamonds. He's 8 under par on the first day. He's looking like Sharapan on the Friday. But I do think a little bit of consistency early in the season on the West Coast swing can be expected for Bo Hosler at a massive number, plus 8,000 there. He's 14th in strokes gained putting, so it's all about that flat stick. And for Bo this week, I think he's got to get out of his way, and that's why we can always expect to see a bit of a long shot. We saw the amateur Nick Dunlap here last year. There's just not a lot of pressure. You know, you're playing with amateur golfers who are skull and chip shots. They're fadding it. They're blading it over the green. There's not a lot of fanfare because it's spread across 3 golf courses. So this is the week. Target a couple of big bombs.
All right.
I got to ask you.
Go ahead, Dave.
Let me ask
it's
you a question
real.
real quick.
It's real, Dave.
Tiger, I know
it's real, and I haven't watched it since Monday.
It looks phenomenal. But, I mean, you were talking about amateurs playing and all this other stuff. Have you watched this golf thing on the 4-letter network? where they're hitting the ball into the screen and they're putting on this thing and like sculling shots like yesterday. That looked like you out of the bunker, whatever that Kaiser guy did, and almost, Dubsy, do you like it? Are you watching it? Are you betting it?
I watched it for a whole 10 seconds. This ain't it. This is like taking Steph Curry to the local arcade, the local basketball machine with a miniature basketball and telling him to put 30 shots in 2 minutes and let's pull out a couple of tickets out the bottom of this thing. The golfers are missing greens by 20, 30 yards. It's a wow kind of setup there, but I don't trust the technology. We've already got enough golf. I don't think this version or format works for me. And we're trying to have a bit of fun. If the players are trying to have a couple of jokes, a couple of laughs, why are they still out there wearing suit pants? Dave, what do we do? Can we not wear shorts?
Show
Can
the
we not wear
legs.
sweats? What's going on?
Show the
It's too
legs.
much.
I mean, they show the calves. Anybody got the calves? Come on.
No.
You get the females to dress like they should. Then you'll get some viewers. That'll be the next one. Let's get a couple of girls, little women. Yeah, Paige Stevenson there. Yeah. Should have said that.
So my team didn't win this weekend, but I still did with this app that's taking over the game. Sports Millions Pick'em lets you make quick and easy predictions. Pick your favorite players, go higher or lower, and you can still win big even if your team loses. Plus, the multiplier is insane. With just a few picks, you can win big money. So get on it. They've got a welcome bonus to help you start off your winning streak.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
You're two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Welcome back InGame Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Thanks to Dubs Anderson. See him here on the Grid, FanDuel TV as well. So hopefully he'll join us again, maybe on a weekly basis. Who knows? We got a couple golf picks out of him, NBA pick, college basketball pick with Utah State a little bit later on, Dave. And speaking of college basketball, I will say, cha-ching, cha-ching, Kansas goes under again. Wow, it's amazing.
Yes, sir.
74-57. Not even close. He's not even close to the original line. That's why I told you at halftime, don't worry about what the first half score is. I don't have those numbers in front of me, but I bet Kansas' second half unders are just as good as their real number. 15-1 now under on the season. And the beauty of it is it's Kansas. It's like Duke with the Dookie Pukies. They're an under team too. Not quite like this, but, twice as many unders. But who's betting under in a Duke game? Who's betting under in a Kansas game? Nobody. This is not Virginia or Houston. We get scoring with Kansas. Give me the over. 140 for a Kansas game. What are you kidding me? Give me, and nothing but unders. So 74-57. They only scored, 61 points second half. Game goes under no matter what number you got. And nice, easy winner. Not bad. I'll take it.
One of those ones that the final score may or may not be indicative of what the actual game was. I think that game hovered around 6, 7, 5 the whole time. And then Kansas didn't score in the last 3 minutes, like literally right under the 3-minute mark. I don't know if they got a basket, and Iowa State pulled away. It's going to be maybe a misleading score if you just look at the score. Kansas was hanging for almost the entire game, and again till the end, and then Iowa State pulled away. That's a really good basketball team. I mean, Auburn's the number 1 team in the country right now. They won yesterday. Iowa State's the number 2 team in the country. They won against the rival at home, did what they were supposed to do, played really good defense as well. Pretty impressive. You know what else is impressive? We talked about.
What's that?
The Celtics are trailing 84-79, 2.5 minutes to go in the third. It's minus 2.5. Do we sound the alarm? Do we sound the alarm? Like, we don't only have 2 hockey games, so we might have to blow the goal horn and let the people know it might be time to go in on the Celtics right now. Minus 2.5, minus 140 on the money line. While it's down to 1.5 because the Raptors just hit a basket. I don't know, Scott. Are they going to lose to the Raptors?
Well, you look at some of their losses. They lost to the Bulls at home. They lost to Orlando.
Okay.
They lost to Philadelphia without, I don't think Embiid played that game. They lost to Oklahoma City, They lost to Sacramento at home the other day. And they barely beat New Orleans 120-119 the other day. So they're coming off 2 back-to-back bad outings. They lose to Sacramento at home, and they get blown out by 17. Then, and most teams, Dave, and this is why as a Celtic fan, you know this stuff, most teams, all right, you're going to lay an egg. No matter who you play, every once in a while you lay an egg. But when you do, you come out flying the next game, right? Great bounce-back spot. You hear gamblers say that all the time. So Celtics lose by 17 at home against Sacramento. They get embarrassed. Then they got a patsy New Orleans up next. You know what they do? Beat them by 20, 30, 40. They beat them by 1. So now they're playing Toronto. So
maybe a bad stretch.
I don't know.
Just a bad stretch. I don't know.
Yeah, they're just not into it. I normally I'd say bet the Celtics, but could I see them losing at Toronto? Yeah.
I mean, Brown only has 7 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Tatum has 14 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists.
Here's another thing.
And Porzingis has 16 points. What? What did you find? What?
Boy, this is this.
What?
I wish I would have seen this beforehand. They played Toronto December 31st.
Okay.
You know what the score was? Now, Toronto stinks. I get that, bud.
Right.
Celtics 125, Toronto 71. They won by 54 points.
Wow.
As bad as Toronto is, they circled this game and said, all right, we suck. Don't get me wrong, but we're not that bad. So Toronto wins this game. They would have been a live good bet, well, they still are, but a live underdog bet or pregame bet underdog. You beat a team like that, you face them again, we're going to blow them out. And then the team that got blown out like that bad, you could be the Washington Wizards, for goodness sakes. You lose by 54, you're going to play better the next time, especially when it's 2 weeks later. So.
Not buying it. Not buying it. Not buying it. The Celtics win this game. Nope, I'm not buying it. I mean, it's going to be close and competitive. And again, if you have any pride as an athlete, as professional. Like, wait, we lost by 54 to these guys last time. Let's play them tougher. Let's do this. Let's do that. That wears out too. I mean, the Celtics are the best team in the NBA, and that's why everybody gets paid, and professionals are professionals. But I don't know. I think Celtics minus 2.5. That's a pretty good bet right now.
1.5 now at FanDuel.
Jeez, keeps jumping.
I don't know. I'm telling you.
Yeah, 1.5. All right, you're saying it right now. You're saying the Raptors win.
Yeah, Raptors win.
Okay. All right.
Raptors win. Hawks by 14 over the dopey Bulls. Like again, I wouldn't have made the Bulls a 6-point favorite over Topeka High, even at home. What are you kidding me?
Yeah, we questioned that line. That was strange. That didn't make any sense. So that's good. 61-47 at the half. Look who else is leading at the half. I'm dressed like George Gervin, San Antonio Spurs, baby. 63-51. They were catching 3.5 pregame, and now they're 7.5-point favorites. That's the old switcheroo. I mean, if you have plus 3.5, you take plus 7.5. A nice 11-point middle there. Hello. I like the way that operates. It's pretty good.
Jazz down 8 early on against the red-hot Charlotte Bobcats.
All right.
They're not going to lose to the Hornets.
That'll be the last time we mention that.
I swear.
We worked for the Kansas game. It's the Black Claw play of the night. We're not talking about it anymore. Unless we get a big alert that the Jazz went on an 8-0 run or 10-0 run. I'm not mentioning that again. The Utah basketball team.
It's off the board. It's done. But no more. Strange hockey line tonight, and that's working out. We'll talk about that when we come back.
Talk about it failing and always putting the square peg into the round hole. We're going to run it. We're going to try and play these lower scoring games. They didn't score over 17 points in the 5 straight losses.
There's a chance for the Ravens to exercise every single demon on their way to a Super Bowl. But it also means the path is very difficult and things are only getting started.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
It's going to be copy-paste. Books up, not good. Win total's a tick too low. Knock it right over. Makes playoff price tick too juicy. Bang it out. Postseason comes around on a tee. Knock their heads off.
I don't think the Steelers organization just makes a move to make a move. They have to have, it's like being in the book. You have to know what you're going to move the line to.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Jimmy Butler wants to leave because Jimmy Butler knows that Riles isn't going to pay him, and he wants to get paid. Simply put, if they would have given Jimmy Butler this contract extension in the summer when he asked, this wouldn't be happening. But Riles did it, and Riles wanted him to play. So now he's disgruntled because he wants out.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Statement from Giants president John Mara. Joe Shane and Brian Daboll will continue in their respective roles with the organization. As disappointing as the results of the season have been, Steve Tisch and I remain confident in the process that Joe and Brian have implemented.
The Giants, an absolute train wreck, and I love it.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to InGame Live. Game day here on the Grid. Scott and Dave, another 35 minutes or so. We got Cam Stewart joining us in about 10 minutes. We'll get some more golf picks from him. A little NBA, a little football talk with him, I'm sure, as well. And some golf and some hockey, Dave. Only had the 2 games today. You know, normally Wednesday's not generally the hockey night. Kind of go Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday's the NHL. NBA goes Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday for them. But that said, we had an earlier final. Buffalo at home, monster underdogs, and no surprise there, but beat Carolina 4-2. The surprise to me, really, though, was I don't know why Minnesota was a monster, plus 160, 170, 180 home underdog to Edmonton. I get Edmonton playing great, 14-4, but Minnesota second place in its division, playing good hockey, good team. I thought the backup goaltender, right? Natural thing, but I looked it up. Gustafsson is playing for Minnesota, so you're not getting the backup, Andre Fleury. So, yeah. I don't know. And Minnesota's leading 2-1 right now. It was 2-0 a second ago, but Edmonton answered. But 2-1 late first period.
No clue. When I saw that number this morning, and then me and Matt did BVB, I said, well, got to be Marc-Andre Fleury. I did the exact same thing you did. I said, it may be a third-string goalie. How could this be that big of a favorite? So, I don't know. Again, crazy hockey lines today. There was only 2 games. Carolina was a huge road favorite tonight, and Minnesota's a huge road favorite, or Edmonton's a huge road favorite in Minnesota. Made no sense. Now, Buffalo has struggled at home, so you could maybe make a case for that even being remotely close to that number. Can't make a case for Edmonton. I'd be very curious to hear what that case was. So we'll keep an eye on it. There's a lot going on. Our buddy David is watching the show. He just wanted to shout us out and say, he played a lot of our plays earlier at the beginning of the show, and we're hoping that we don't mush them. We got the one in with the Kansas total. We're not talking about the other one right now until we know that, the other one's going back. So just quick shout out to David. I don't know where he's at, but he said he's watching the show. He enjoys the stuff. And hopefully you're on the Spurs too, because obviously I'm on the Spurs. I'm wearing the Spurs stuff.
Cool. There you go. All right. Yeah. Tennessee, the Houston Cougars game, and that we got a little work to do with that one if we want to hit the under on that one. 53-48 midway through. Over-under is 140.5. That was 124.5, so that's trouble. But we got Tennessee 33-34 now, 27 over Georgia, 118.5. So that's looking real good.
That's looking okay.
Georgia,
yeah.
Yeah. So
they turned that around. Boy, Penn State's given Michigan State all they can handle in that game in the Big Ten.
Yeah. And that was Michigan State leading early too. Not like so they haven't been able to pull away to Penn State's credit. Only up 7, 78-71. Line is 7.5. I like them at 11.5. So Penn State can score.
Michigan State?
Michigan State. Yeah, they're playing great. 14-2. Good against the spread. Penn State's lost 3 in a row. I'm surprised they're hanging tough.
And doesn't play much defense, to be perfectly honest. No. Penn State really doesn't play much defense. Just watching the scores. I haven't really watched a lot of the games. I got to ask you from last night, did you see what Illinois did to Indiana last night? I mean, they won by a bunch. I asked you last night and then after the game now, Illinois' top 10 team, like legit shot to win it all. I think so.
Yeah.
You?
I think so too. They got that one kid there, the foreign kid. He's really good. Every time I watch them play, they play great. And that's why I said this last night. I'll say it again. Like, I don't know how they lose. Because every time I turn them on, they're beating like a really good team on the road and everything else. I mean, it's just like, how's this team losing? So I happen to catch all their good performances. I like that team. I like them a lot. So
yeah, when you look at the board, like for college basketball, odds to win it all, they're not near the top. Like, I think there's still value on them. Like, if we start to look, when we get closer to doing our 3-sport parlay or 3-championship parlay, they might make the list.
They might get good odds on them. There you see it. They're not even on that list.
That's what I'm saying.
Not bad. Not bad.
talk about it failing and always putting the square peg into the round hole. We're going to run it. We're going to try and play these lower scoring games. They didn't score over 17 points in the 5 straight losses.
There's a chance for the Ravens to exercise every single demon on their way to a Super Bowl. But it also means the path is very difficult and things are only getting started.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
It's going to be copy-paste. Books are, not good. Win total's a tick too low. Knock it right over. Make playoff price tick too juicy. Bang it out. Postseason comes around on a tee. Knock their heads off.
I don't think the Steelers organization just makes a move to make a move. They have to have, it's like being in the book. You have to know what you're going to move the line to.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Jimmy Butler wants to leave because Jimmy Butler knows that Riles isn't going to pay him, and he wants to get paid. Simply put, if they would have given Jimmy Butler this contract extension in the summer when he asked, this wouldn't be happening. But Riles did it, and Riles wanted him to play. So now he's disgruntled because he wants out.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Statement from Giants president John Mara. Joe Shane and Brian Daboll will continue in their respective roles with the organization. As disappointing as the results of the season have been, Steve Tisch and I remain confident in the process that Joe and Brian have implemented.
The Giants, an absolute train wreck, and I love it.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. InGame Live, Game Day on the Grid on a wonderful, wild, weird line Wednesday. Because we've had more strange lines tonight, whether it's hockey, NBA, college basketball. Some are working out, some aren't working out. That's basically how it goes. So, pick your poison there. One thing, I tell you another strange one, although I kind of get this one, is just Virginia, which is a monster under team, right? But they really stink this year. So it was 135.5 at home. I don't remember. I can't remember the last time a Virginia home game was that high. So right now, trailing SMU 23-18, and it's down to 127.5. I think they overcompensated. Wow. They've been basically an over. It's 8-8. Some over, some under, but it's been a much higher scoring Virginia team. They're not any good, so they can't play the defense like they used to. Bennett retired last moment. I still don't know what the deal is with that, kind of retiring, 2 minutes before they tipped off. But, so they're not the same kind of Virginia team. But I did play them under today, so it's looking halfway decent. I figured 135.5, there's no way I'm passing that up.
You see what's happening in the Knicks and Sixers game?
No, what do we got?
I don't know what happened. Yeah, well, it's tied now going overtime.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that?
So a bit of a meltdown in the fourth, and Maxey kind of took over the end of the game, and now they're playing overtime. The in-game number is Knicks minus 2.5. Totals 240.5. It's 109, so that's 218. Do we get that 240?
5 minutes.
I don't think so.
NBA overtime is way too long. Way too. The quarter is only 12 minutes. Yeah, it should be 2 minutes. That's it. 2 minutes. That's enough for every team to get a couple possessions. Maybe 3. You want to go 3? Okay.
But you don't need 3 minutes.
You don't need 5. I'll tell you that.
If it's a 24-second shot clock, that's 3 possessions a minute. Technically,
that's it.
You need 9 possessions total to decide it. I think I like the 5 minutes. I mean, you've come up with some good ideas.
Really?
I don't know if that's one of them. Yeah, I think 5 minutes is fine.
That's too much.
That's too long.
That's way. It's an extra. Think about it in the NFL. Well,
they
NFL
play
does
10 minutes,
actually. They
two
play 10 minutes,
thirds.
yeah. It's probably about the same
2/3
percentage-wise.
overtime. So, well, no, it's not even. It's 12-minute quarters. They only play 5 minutes, so they play 40%.
Yeah. How about this?
So,
how about like in the NFL, someone scores a touchdown, first possession, you win. Someone hits a three-pointer in the NBA, first possession, you win. First guy to hit a three.
What are you doing
First guy to hit a three. Otherwise,
stop.
It's like, it should be like in what do you do like when you played younger, right? And I know the answer. I know exactly what you're going to say. You play 21, right? Backyard, 5-on-5, 4-on-4, 3-on-3. All right, get to 21. Right. What happens when it's 21? What's the rule after you both tied at 21?
Got to win by 2.
Bingo. You got to win by 2. First one to go, if it's 23-21 or whether it's 45-43. Same thing in the NBA. First one to go up 3. Boom. That's it. You win. See you later.
First one to go up 3.
Yeah. I like that.
This sounds like the Globetrotters. Do they have it rule in the Globetrotters games? Like when you go to the Globetrotters?
They might.
How about
ever see the Globetrotters?
Every year. They go every year. I saw them.
Yeah,
I saw the first time I saw them. I was 6 years old. It was phenomenal, and I loved them since. I mean, this goes back to the Meadowlark Lemon, Curly Neo, Keith Osby.
Yeah.
Those were the originals. I mean, so we take our daughters every year when they come here. It's amazing how they've evolved and done the show. But they have a 4-point shot. They have put a 4-point shot circle on the corner, almost just across the half court line. So how about you hit a 4-point shot in NBA overtime, the game's over. That's it.
That'd be okay. I can see Steph Curry, Damian Lillard doing that, right?
He hits it now. The shot's for 3, but he hits it now for 3. Sometimes from where he's at, it would be a 4-point shot on the Globetrotters game. I don't like that. I mean, we're already messing things up with the sports. Would you stop? Like, what if some consultant's watching this right now and goes, you know what, that Wetzel guy comes up with some good stuff. Let's institute this. We're going to shorten the NBA overtime. They better send you to check if they do that. If I see a thing next year where it's like the NBA's at the rules meetings and the operations, or the owners meetings wherever they're at, probably in Palm Springs or something, and they're going to be discussing a rule change. And they're going to go, we're discussing shortening the overtime. They heard it right here on InGame Live Game Day. There's no one else talking about that. No one else has that idea. No.
Right.
No.
I bet they discussed
Did you see, by the way, the NFL today announced that they're going to review face masks starting next year? They made that. They made that a review. Yeah.
You see that last night or Monday night? Who was it? One of the guy, I forget which team it was. The mind is scrambled, right? So someone got his face mask pulled, and he complained about it, and the officials huddled up. No one threw a flag. And then after they huddled up, they came out and said, okay, face mask. And even the guys on TV were like, geez, where'd they get that face mask from? Because no one threw a flag. And then the dopey, there's a little bit of a back and forth there. I picked these things up. So the official who they bring on to kind of go over the rules said, you're not supposed to go, can't call a penalty by going to review. And the two announcers, Buck and Aikman, I think it was, said, I didn't see anyone throw it, But then the official on TV said, I think there was a late flag thrown. And then the announcer, Buck, said, no, I didn't see, no one in this booth saw any flags being thrown. Kind of like saying, no, don't come up with some excuse for your officials. Because they clearly broke the rules. People don't realize now they're in communication with New York, and that's what happens. The people in New York in studio are watching it. They're seeing a penalty. They're telling the guys to huddle up. Someone throws a flag, and then they say, because it was a face mask penalty. I mean,
I'm in the spirit of getting it right. So as long as we get it right, but again, you're an official. You know the rules. You sometimes miss them. You just own up to it. Say you missed it.
Right.
Let's play on. That's fine. I got to mention the Celtics are down 12.
Yes.
They're getting 8.5 points now. You were
30-1.
Yeah.
Plus 10-1 they are now.
Wow.
Wow.
and the Knicks started overtime with an 8-0 run. Game would be over, and if the Wetzel rules were applied.
Right.
2 minutes in, they're up 8. They just ran off 8 points, so the game would be over if it was your league. That's it.
Right. That's it. Maybe we could go 4-on-4, like hockey. Drop a guy. Bucks by 25 over the Magic. That's over.
Man,
Rockets lead Denver by 5, hanging around after the first quarter. Ooh, how about
team
this?
We're not mentioning up. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Don't even say it. Won't even say it.
Don't even say it. We'll say it after it gets to the quarter.
Yeah.
I just saw it too. I just saw it. We'll give that score at halftime. That was good.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
Very
that,
nice.
Like that kind of music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a good.
We need a horn for that one. We need the gold horn for that.
Right.
Edmonton tied up Minnesota 2-2. I will say that.
Just like that. Yep.
Just like that. After 2.
Oh, I heard it.
Or after 1. After 1.
Okay.
Yeah. FanDuel's got the Texans down to 8.5. Lions 9.5. Eagles 6.5. Nothing really changed. Baltimore 1.5. Over under 55.5 for Detroit and Washington. Wow. What did we get? 1 under last week? 5 and 1 under?
All unders last week. It was only 1 over.
No, Houston and Chargers. Chargers game went open. Yeah.
That was the only one. Yep.
So, yeah. First one. Yeah. Everything else under after that. Good luck again.
Talk about it failing and always putting the square peg into the round hole. We're going to run it. We're going to try and play these lower scoring games. They didn't score over 17 points in the 5 straight losses.
There's a chance for the Ravens to exercise every single demon on their way to a Super Bowl. But it also means the path is very difficult and things are only getting started.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
It's going to be copy-paste. Books up, not good. Win total's a tick too low. Knock it right over. Makes playoff price tick too juicy. Bang it out. Postseason comes around on a tee. Knock their heads off.
I don't think the Steelers organization just makes a move to make a move. They have to have, it's like being in the book. You have to know what you're going to move the line to.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Jimmy Butler wants to leave because Jimmy Butler knows that Riles isn't going to pay him, and he wants to get paid. Simply put, if they would have given Jimmy Butler this contract extension in the summer when he asked, this wouldn't be happening. But Riles did it, and Riles wanted him to play. So now he's disgruntled because he wants out.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Statement from Giants president John Mara. Joe Shane and Brian Daboll will continue in their respective roles with the organization. As disappointing as the results of the season have been, Steve Tisch and I remain confident in the process that Joe and Brian have implemented.
The Giants, an absolute train wreck, and I love it.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back InGame Live. Game day here on the grid. Time to join the guy who's going to be taking over top of the hour, him and Game Morency, Mr. Cam Stewart, as he joins us every night here at the 944 segment. What's going on, Cam? How are you today? What's on your plate this evening?
Doing pretty good, Scott. I actually, really? I guess I bathed today, which was good, and just had a shower. I feel fresh. I got a nice pack of Dove soap in my stocking, Dove for Men for Christmas. Great bar. Yeah, I'm old school. I like bar, not the scrungy and thing. Enough of this stuff. It's like Axe deodorant. That's for children. I'm a man. I'm 40. Actually, I'm a man. Turning 50. Right, Mike Gundy?
I'm a man.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a man. Like bars. Anyway, I digress. Dave, I saw the Sabres game was at 6 o'clock today. Had to bet them against Carolina. They're up 3-0. I go, and that's the end of that. Look, don't even want to watch the end. 4-2 win.
Right.
Thank you. Over in this Minnesota game. I don't know what's going on with Edmonton and their offense in Minnesota. And Minnesota is 7-3 in their last 10. Edmonton 7-2-1. So we got like two very hot teams playing each other, and it looks like the offenses are ahead of the defenses. So we could probably get over 8 goals in this game right now. We got 4 after the first period. I don't expect it to slow down, but I'm happy with Buffalo. Golf this week, guys. We got the American Express. Kind of a different tournament because it's being played on 3 courses. We have 3 courses, and then at the end, they go all play on the one at the end. So we'll see what happens. And I talked to Brady Cannon. He sends me his articles every afternoon when I put in my picks, and I did my hit with Carver. And it's a very, very a hard tournament to cap, and it's NFL weekend. So probably less money on the golf, even though things went really well despite the outright last week. But let's start here, guys. And Scott, a couple of your favorites are there. Some real guys that kind of like life. They, when you need them to move, they're not there for you, but they're there for you when you have beers in your fridge. Eric Cole. Wyndham Clark, 33-1. This guy's game is so damn good, and he's being priced in the second tier. He should be with Sam Burns in the chalk at -16, in my opinion. This guy's one of the best players in the world. He wins majors now. He's there. Max Gracer, the hot pick of the week. I know some of these guys in the golf world like him. My boy Scott Stewart, the other Stewart, likes him, and he's a very good capper. When he's on Gracerman, we emailed each other. I'm like, this is good because this guy has game galore, 38-1. They actually knocked his price down from 45. People think he's very good, and I agree. Thompson's Water Seal. Davis Thompson has a perfect game for all of these tracks. Always done well in this tournament. Here's a flyer, guys. Will Zalatoris, you know how his story. He's very thin. He put on some weight. And this year, he's got to bring it together. I already like what I saw from him early on in the year. And at 55-1, I got to take a chance before his numbers go down to like Clark's numbers around 30, 33. Here's my buddy. Hey, I need your help this weekend, Eric. Oh, sorry, got to go out to the bar with the lady. Yeah, then he comes over, and next thing you know, all my vodka's gone. But Eric Cole, he's great for a top 5 or a top 10. Scott, I got him to win. But I would suggest to all you people out there, top 20, top 10 markets, safer. And let's go for put the rod in the lake there with Fishburne, 70-1, hottest player on tour, top 10s every week. Yes.
Before
Dave.
you get to the top 10s and the top 20s and the rest of the boards here, Dubsy said that they're going to, like, the winning score for this thing is going to be close to 30 under.
Yes.
Is that right?
He's right. Dubsy's right, as always. Don't doubt Dubsy with golf. He was a caddy. This is the problem, Dave, with the California swing. These tournaments, I think they're too easy. And I don't know if the PGA Tour is ever going to change the way they are, but I will tell you one thing. I worked at golf courses and stuff. Golfers don't like to be embarrassed. Like in majors, you know what I mean? When they win it like -2, -3, that's my type of golf. And I think it's good for the fans. I think it's good for everybody. But these are also guys that don't like when the course beats them up or embarrasses them. Like we've seen U.S. Opens where the greens got too slick and you know what I mean? Guys are winning at very bad numbers. They like to go low. That's what these guys like to do. You're right, Dave. This is going to be a birdie fest this week. So you look at guys who can go really low, and a lot of those guys who are top of the birdie list are on my pick list. Sanjay Im has not finished worst outside the top 15, and every time he's been to this event, he is a birdie machine. I don't like the price to win, but at +130 for a top 10, I'm there. Sam Burns, another great ball striker, +180. Nico Echeverria finished second last week to Canadian Nick Taylor in the playoff. One of another hot players. I told you, Scott, about Sepp Straka. He's Austrian, but he went to the University of Georgia. Always a top 20 machine. I'm taking him at +210. They haven't adjusted. Brady likes Mesner this week, top 40, +110. And Dave, I take Ubers after I drink, but now it's Zuber. This kid came out of nowhere last week. Zuber. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? But I watched some of his tape on the Golf Channel, and he did really, really well on the junior tour to advance to the PGA Tour. And I'll take him for almost 2-1 for a top 40. That's what I like this week. And guys, there's another tournament in Dubai, and me and Carver, we like Dean Burmester. Oh, no, first round leaders. Thank you, guys. Wow, nice. Matt, on fire. Thank you. 3 courses. Let's rock. Carver had 9 picks. I only got 6. Zalatoris at La Quinta, 25-1 first round leader. 3 courses, guys. Cole, 28. Big Bo Hostler from the University of Texas, 25. Norlander, a notorious hot starter at 33-1. Bud Cauley playing better after an injury. He's from Alabama. And Brendan Todd, Georgia. Got a lot of SEC guys on my list there. Cauley, SEC. Todd, SEC. Yeah. Hostler now SEC with Texas. So a lot of these guys can go real low. You need guys, Dave, pars aren't good enough this week. Birdie. Now, Adam Hadwin, the Canadian, actually has one of the course records. The guy shot a 59. So that's all you need to know is, like, there could be a course record this week. Don't be surprised if a guy puts up a 57, 58, or does something really stupid here. If the
How's it get sanctioned? How's the PGA sanction a course that
I don't know.
easy?
Like, Dave knows, too. They had those tournaments in Vegas, and me and Brian used to go to them, and it was borderline too easy, too. And then they even talked about it and said, we got to make it a little bit harder for these guys. They don't want to see guys winning at 26, 27, but the casual fans, Scott, they like this stuff. I don't. I'm a golf enthusiast. Like, I've worked there since I was a kid. I worked at courses, everything. I love hard golf, but that's not the way it is. That's kind of like the European tour. I don't mind it sometimes when the weather picks up because these guys are grinding out there. They don't want to look like the weekend hacker. That's the problem. But I agree with you guys. Something needs to be done in the future. We need less of these crap events. I'd actually say less tournaments, better purses, and harder courses. But I'm not in charge of the PGA. Jay Monahan is, but he won't be there for long. Trust me, this guy's days are numbered. Guaranteed. Trust me. Yeah, it's over.
Right.
Football
Anything
guys?
change as far as this weekend? Anything change or
I'm
already
going
got in
down.
place for later on tonight?
For tonight, I'm on the over in that hockey game. Houston, I'll take them at any price in basketball for the blowout win tonight. And football, I'm still on Washington, and I'm absolutely going to the ATM to ride with the Bills with Gabe and Carver this week. I'm all in on Buffalo. There it is.
All right. Could be a depressing sports grid if the
Oh,
Bills lose.
dude, if the Bills lose, we got real problems. Yeah, with tears and no money.
Cam and Gabe, top of the hour.
Talk about it failing and always putting the square peg into the round hole. We're going to run it. We're going to try and play these lower scoring games. They didn't score over 17 points in the 5 straight losses.
There's a chance for the Ravens to exercise every single demon on their way to a Super Bowl. But it also means the path is very difficult and things are only getting started.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
It's going to be copy-paste. Books up, not good. Win total's a tick too low. Knock it right over. Makes playoff price tick too juicy. Bang it out. Postseason comes around on a tee. Knock their heads off.
I don't think the Steelers organization just makes a move to make a move. They have to have, it's like being in the book. You have to know what you're going to move the line to.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Jimmy Butler wants to leave because Jimmy Butler knows that Riles isn't going to pay him, and he wants to get paid. Simply put, if they would have given Jimmy Butler this contract extension in the summer when he asked, this wouldn't be happening. But Riles did it, and Riles wanted him to play. So now he's disgruntled because he wants out.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Statement from Giants president John Mara. Joe Shane and Brian Daboll will continue in their respective roles with the organization. As disappointing as the results of the season have been, Steve Tisch and I remain confident in the process that Joe and Brian have implemented.
The Giants, an absolute train wreck, and I love it.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back InGame Live. Game day here on the grid. Again, thanks to Cam Stewart, Cam, and Gabe. Top of the hour, taking over the next 3 here on the grid. So we had a couple of NBA Finals tweak in here, Dave. Knickerbockers in overtime do win. Don't cover the original number, which was more than 6. I know that. 125 to 119. Maxey had 33. Brunson had 38. You know what the guys in the podcast are doing? Let's see if it hit again tonight. They're playing under Brunson 3-point shot. And some sites are offering 2.5 at minus missed. Or, well, made, rather.
Made. Okay. Yeah.
Made 3-point shots. They're playing his under. It's either 2.5 minus money or 1.5 plus money. And it's been like an automatic. This is like the Celtics' first half over hitting last year, right? Really? So, yeah, it's been crazy. So, Brunson tonight, I say that tonight, and he went 3-6. He had 3 of them. Figures. Sorry, boys. I put the delayed black cloud on you.
Yeah, you did right there.
Yeah, but
by the way,
if
the
you
Knicks
look at his numbers,
the Knicks closed 5.5. The game fell 6.
Really, I thought it was higher than that. Wow.
No, closed 5.5.
So they covered.
Covered the closing number at most places. Yeah. You know who didn't cover? The Celtics.
Lose outright. I told you.
Smoked. Good call.
Now again, you would think, okay, let's circle next game Celtics, right? But that they lost to Sacramento, and they only beat New Orleans by 1 last game. So it's 3 straight bad games. They're just in one of those funks, right? And nothing,
They play Orlando
long
on
season.
Friday. They'll probably be close to 10-point favorites, 8.5, somewhere in that neighborhood.
At least.
Yeah.
Orlando's losing by 26 at Milwaukee. So, yeah, they'll be a double-digit favorite again on the road.
Well, they're at home. Celtics
the problem. Celtics are
we'll
home.
have that on Friday.
You know what the problem is for the Celtics is that I think they probably first off, the season's forever, right? They don't really worry about home field advantage, but okay, it's out there. But they're so far behind Cleveland, 6 games. With only half the season left, they're probably saying we're not going to catch the cadavers. We're going to be the number 2 seed, so we really don't have to, get up for these games. And when you beat a team by 54 2 weeks ago, it really was the perfect storm tonight. It really was. So
yeah.
All right. Denver's hanging around.
Denver is hanging around. Well, 47-32. They're down 50.
They were. It was 8 a second ago. Last time I looked.
Yeah.
But
no good. The team we're not mentioning is still winning. That's good. We'll mention that as we go off the air. The Wild just scored to go up 3-2. 15 minutes left in the second period against the Oilers. So they're winning. That game's already going over. One more goal there. The Rockets.
What's the over-under on that one now?
On the hockey?
Yeah. It's 8.5.
It is 9.5 with the juice under. Yeah. 9.5 with the juice under minus 200. So
FanDuel's got an 8.5 minus 2-1 if you want the over.
I got to ask you before we get out of here. Did you see that the Bears are going to have? I think they're going to interview McCarthy, and the Cowboys are actually reaching out to talk to Robert Saleh. Did you see that today?
No, I heard the Bears. They're really interviewing Robert Saleh. Really? Wow. Did they not watch the Jets? I mean, you talk about. I mean, out of all the places, right? He failed miserably in New York, and it was a lot of it. He just wasn't comfortable here. He couldn't handle the media. He just couldn't. He wasn't comfortable talking to the media. So he's going to go from, you talk about going from the pot to the frying pan. He's going to handle that in Dallas? I mean,
I don't know.
Really? With Jerry Jones? I mean, yeah. And not only that, I mean, listen, beggars can't be choosers. I get that. But, you spent 3 years, sitting behind basically Aaron Rodgers. And now you're going to go down to Dallas where you're going to sit behind Jerry Jones? That's
not.
Call up Jason Garrett again. Yeah.
Wow. I don't think so.
I mean, if you're going to go that route.
Nah, he's not doing it.
I'd like to see Rex Ryan down there. Rex Ryan down there.
He's going to the Jets. Said he's going to the Jets.
I don't think so.
No?
Belichick should have taken the job. I still don't understand that the college thing. He could have had one of these NFL head coaching jobs. Yeah. Great job, Dave. We'll do it again tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
about it failing.